Can you imagine? This lens is from 1989. I just finished shooting this video, so in the beginning it was shot on this lens. We've also made some photos, you'll see them a bit later, and backstage from that photo shoot too. All shot on this lens. Actually, it just came from a camera. I'm using Canon EOS R, and this lens has to be used with this adapter. It's an EF to RF mount adapter. You do like this, and you can see this lens, how it looks. At first, what I want to tell about using this lens with Canon EOS R, it is perfect. I have no issues at all. It works like on my Canon 6D, all native with this native EF lens adapter. So if you're planning on buying 85mm lens for your mirrorless Canon, you should probably consider this Canon because it's cheap. Come on, let's start with pros. The first pro is its weight. It's around 399 grams. You can see it here. Yeah. So whenever I'm packing for a portrait photo shoot, I'm always willing to take this one over any other higher end lenses because it's like nothing. The next pro is its autofocus. Actually, it's lightning fast. On mirrorless cameras it's very accurate. Let me tell you how fast it is right now. So as you can see here, I'm focusing using my Canon EOS R, and it does a really great job. Another thing about its autofocus system is that it's usually much faster than on higher aperture lenses like f1.4 or, oh god, f1.2. That monster focuses really slow. One more thing about the autofocus is that it's very quiet. It's got this Canon ultrasonic motor. It's not a modern technology, of course, but it works very good. So don't think that this grandpa won't deliver. Oh, I just decided to film outside and it's so windy. I hope this dead cat helps. Another pro of this lens is its price. It's a little cheap lens. I will link it down below, of course, for you to see the prices and the specs of it. But I would recommend buying it used, because usually these lenses all end up in good condition. And usually the condition can be seen on photos. If it looks good, then it performs well. Let's see how mine looks. It has a little dust specks, but they don't really matter, and the final image comes out fine. About the final image, as you can see, this lens has a terrific, beautiful, creamy bokeh. Right now I am showing you the photos from the second photo shoot with this lens. It was made on the same day. It was a bit cold, windy, and as you can see, the bokeh is just beautiful. Another cool feature about this lens, you can use it in manual mode, even though the autofocus is set to on. Here you can see the autofocus switch, it's on. You just turn the focusing ring and it focuses no problem with the autofocus on. It's convenient when you want to move your focus a little bit, when you have pressed already the shutter, or if somehow the camera doesn't focus where you want. Also, you may be wondering why I have this extension ring placed on my filter thread. Let me show you. This is an extension ring for my filter. This lens has 58 filter thread, and I mostly use 82mm filters. For example, right now I'm shooting with Canon RF 35 1.8 with ND filter that is 82mm size. I'm using an extension ring too. I will show you the lens without it. Just unscrew that, and here you go. The glass looks beautiful. I don't know, the lenses of those years are just pure art. Not that I don't like the modern ones, but maybe it's nostalgia. If you're interested in this filter extension ring, a link is down below. Come on, this wind! Look at that! Now let me tell you about the cons. Actually, not many here I can think of. I've got two for you. The first one, its minimum focus and distance is really not pleasing. Look, it's only 85 centimeters. You can see, oh wait, it's not this side, it was infinity. So yeah, minimum focus and distance is 85. Opposed to this RF 35 macro 1.8, as you could see, it focused very closely. It's not critical for portraits, If you are doing portraits like this, or maybe closer like this, I will show you how it looks with the minimum focus and distance and the face in the whole frame. As you can see, it could be closer, but what we have, that's what we have. There's a newer Canon RF lens, 85 2.0 macro. It's similar to this, but it costs around 3 times more. And again, you should buy this used, it's much more value in that. The other con I can think of is that this lens is not that sharp as the modern lenses. This was produced from 1989 till 2006. Can you imagine? 15 years has passed since this lens was discontinued. And still I think it's amazing for what it is. Yeah, well, not that sharp, and also on full open aperture it has a very high vignette. I will show you here. If you are going to use it top down a bit, it will get better, but not that good. For portraits, it's not that bad, because this dreamy look is usually what photographers seek. And when this lens is used on the open aperture, for example for video and for photos, it has a color fringe, this green and magenta color on the contrasty places. For photos it's easy to get rid in Lightroom, but for videos it's much more complicated. But not actually a problem. I like to use it for video, as you have seen in the beginning. Now let's see the backstage from the photoshoot, from the other one, second one.